Welcome to Experience This. I'm Derek, and today we will be experiencing this. This is the Matepad Pro by Huawei. Huawei is having difficulty trying to sell in the United States, but I don't want to talk about the politics of it, but I do want to check out their equipment and see what it's like. So come on with me while we experience this. Okay, here we have the Huawei Matepad Pro. I'm going to talk about the hardware first. This hardware is excellent. You can see on the hardware where the thin bezels that go around, they're almost as small as what the cell phone bezels used to be just a few short years ago. It also has this hole punch camera on the front. It's off in the left-hand corner, so it doesn't take up much space. And it's hardly noticeable when you look at the screen. Sometimes if you have a darker background, it blends all the way back in the background and looks like it's almost like a full uninterrupted pane of glass. And that's about as thick as it is too. Very thin. It has 4 speakers. It has speaker on this end, speaker right here, one here, and one here. The power button is right here on the top left, and then you have the volume rocker up at the top. There is a USB-C input right here, and down here at the bottom there is a like a SIM card ejector, but it's not for SIMs, it's for the proprietary memory that Huawei uses. As you can see on this, the hardware is great. It's a bit of a fingerprint magnet on the back, but I did install a matte screen protector that's a paper-like. I found this on AliExpress from a place called Wow Case, and it's a very nice screen protector, I must say. I would say that it gets very bright. The big drawback with this product is just basically 2 things. One of them is not within Huawei's control, and that is the ban that the United States has placed on Huawei. Like I said before, I don't want to get into the politics, but it's a shame. What I can say is I was able to put Google Play services on this tablet. It took me a bit, and that helped things along a little bit, but Huawei's own App Store is also on the tablet. I couldn't find too many apps that I would use using the Huawei app gallery, but I was able to find quite a few things that I would actually use on the Google Play Store. The problem with that is that because of the nature of the ban, it's not compatible with several of the apps that I would use. In fact, even some of the apps that I were able to load on here, they just tell you that they're not compatible. And some you just can't find or download or add to this at all. Like when I go to the Play Store, if I type in Netflix, it doesn't show. It doesn't come up at all. I couldn't even add Netflix on here. I can go here to Netflix.com. And when I go, I can pull up Netflix, but then when I try to play something, it just tries to tell me to download the app, to get the free app. Even if I go down here and go to Netflix.com and bypass that, nothing will play. It tells me to go back to the app. So that's a shame. But the one thing that did surprise me about this tablet, however, the experience is wonderful when you use YouTube. And I wouldn't think that that would be the case, but I can actually get some YouTube videos to play at 2K, which is the resolution of the screen. It is 2560 by 1600. So it has the same quality screen as the iPad, and it is an LCD, so it's not a OLED panel or anything, but it's a very nice, maybe even better than the iPad. But what makes this a very good tablet is the fact that it does use Huawei's own Kirin chipset. So I'm going to go down here and about tablet. This particular version has 6 gigabytes of RAM and then 128 gigabytes of storage. With the included slot down here, you can put in Huawei's own storage media, and you can get that storage to go up quite considerably. I just haven't been able to find anything here. I would have to have it shipped to me. All in all, this tablet, I say this is a wonderful competitor to the iPad Pro. It's only let down by a few shortcomings, and most of those shortcomings come down to the software. What I think would be wonderful on this, or an experiment, is if someone, or if Huawei themselves, or even if they're ever allowed to put Google back on, then instead of putting Android, I would put Chrome OS on this tablet, because this tablet, the best of both worlds is what you would get with the Chrome OS, because it uses web apps. As you see, it's very snappy. The animations are pretty close and pretty nice, but they're not quite as up to par as the 120 hertz screen on here. I'm not sure what the hertz on this screen is, but I would imagine about 60. Might be a little bit more than that, but it's definitely not the 120. Since this is Android, you can go ahead and customize the tablet, and I've customized this one just a bit. I say this is the content consumption king, as far as I'm concerned. It has that 16 by 9 inch screen, so it's a widescreen. It actually shows more real estate when you're watching a video on this than on my 11-inch iPad Pro. And there's one other trick this tablet has up its sleeve, and that is, of course, it has its own Windows-like area on here. So I can come down here and pull the settings, and down here it has desktop mode. So when I go into desktop mode, here we go, brings up EMUI desktop, and as you see, it's laid out just like a Windows computer. The problem with this is still the software. You can open different apps and have them in their own windows. The problem is the apps that you can load, there's not that many. I was able to get Microsoft Office to load. I was able to get the Edge browser to load. YouTube, I mean, it works real well and it's very fast. It's still not as powerful as an iPad Pro, but it's powerful enough to do what you need to do. I also want to include that this does have pen input. I did order the Huawei keyboard case and the M Pencil to go along with this, but because I had to get them shipped, and due to the current situation in the world, I'm not sure if it just got lost or what, but I ordered it over a month ago. Still haven't received anything. So I'm gonna have to cancel my order and probably order from somewhere else. But the Huawei MatePad Pro, is it a contender? Yes, it is definitely a contender. I'm gonna hit exit and go back to the Android. And you see how quick that was? Yeah. This tablet, this basically is pound for pound just as good as an iPad Pro in many respects. It's just the few respects that it's not, and that's what kills this tablet. Well, it doesn't kill it, but it's still a great buy. I just would like to say that if I were going to spend my money versus an iPad Pro, I would go with the iPad Pro in the Western world, mainly because of the problem that we're having here in our country with Huawei. The software in Android is not up to speed with iPad OS exactly for tablets in the first place, because when they make these apps, they're made for the phone and they're not made to fit this 10.8 inch screen. And there you have it. This has been the Huawei MatePad Pro, and we've been checking it out. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Hit those buttons, subscribe, and get back with me. Because until then, you know what we're doing? We're experiencing this.